Jacob could not make it happen in his home, because the moment Rachel gave her maid, competition began. Leah too gave her maid. So from being a polygamist of 2 wives, he became a polygamist of 4 wives. Is it not happening today? When a man marries a second wife and he brings the third one, most times the first wife will think they want to get back at the second one. They will now support their husband to take the third one. And so polygamy grows and problem grows in their home. So that was how the competition started in the home of Jacob. Now the maid started having children. They too now continue having children. Eventually God opened the womb of Rachel. She had a child. She had 2 sons. But guess what? Those sons of the maids have heard how Rachel was the favored one. So though she was the auntie, though the sons of Leah were nephew to Rachel, they forgot they were blood. Competition does not recognize blood. Even if a man marries your younger sister today, you will see the demon in your sister. Polygamy has this monster that works with it. It is competition. It is envy. And when there is envy, there are all manners of evil. We are just coming, for us to see the consequences of polygamy. And that is how competition started. Even for Leah to sleep with her husband, she has to bribe her younger sister, Rachel, and the competition, all manners of ungodly things that wouldn't happen under monogamy began to happen in polygamy. Because each mother will say things in the presence of their children, the maids will say things in the presence of their children. All those boys grew up with enmity for Joseph. Even before Joseph became a only child in Genesis 37, they had misgivings about his mother, and they transferred that hatred to the son. So when he thought he had siblings and he was sharing dreams with them, he didn't know he was talking with his competitors. They didn't see him as blood. They saw him as competition. Polygamy is about competition. Who gets what? Who is favored? And where that is, brethren cannot live in peaceful coexistence, as the Bible instructs in Psalm 133. How peaceful it is for brothers to dwell together in harmony. There is no harmony in polygamy. That is why it's man-made. It is not God's standard. We're talking about the consequences of polygamy. So each woman will speak evil or good to their children. The children will grow with that, and they will use it to relate with one another. It is the wickedness they have for their auntie Rachel as the favored wife that made it so easy for them to plan to kill Joseph. But God intervened through Reuben, the first son of Leah. He said, no, don't kill him, throw him into the well. He had the intention to save him later. But it was a man, I can't understand him. While he went away, before he could come back, they had sold Joseph into slavery. It is competition and hatred. They hated him for his dream. Hatred graduated from not liking what he was saying. They hated him. From hating him, they planned to kill him. So in polygamy, when they start from a point, they don't ever redress. It's a progressive. The evil is progressive in polygamy. It is in monogamy that the mother will say, aren't you children of the same mother and father? Stop it. In polygamy, there is nothing like that. Evil progresses. I will quickly jump into a story on evil progresses before I continue with the family of Jacob that we're looking at. For you to understand that evil progresses, when Ammon raped Tamar, the sister, what did Absalom do? He retaliated by killing Ammon. Will they be children of the same mother and he will kill Ammon? If they were children of the same mother, will Ammon rape Tamar? That is a progressive evil in polygamy. So competition is there, progressive evil is there. They're always doing things to demean each other, to pull each other down, so that they will become the reference point. They're always after each other's life. And it is systematic and gradual. It's all consequences of polygamy. Now returning to Jacob, I use David to explain David's family, to explain the progressive evil in polygamy, which we saw also in the house of Jacob, the way the sons hated Joseph gradually, rather than become only like him, they hated him from being holy, for reporting them to their father. Was he reporting them because he hated them? No, for their father to reprove, check, correct them so that they can change. But they didn't have plan to change. So polygamy, if care is not taken, parents lose control over their children's character and development. Because there is no common bond for the men and women to be together at the same time, while the man is away, the woman will raise the child within her capacity, and most times certain things will be missing. Most children in polygamy, they have father wound. Because while the man is away somewhere, the child is lacking and missing something. Am I communicating? We're talking about the consequences of polygamy. So polygamy is breeding monsters. People without compassion, people that either suffer superiority complex or inferiority complex. Complex is in polygamy. The children from polygamy, even the wives amongst them, there is complex, because some are more favored than the other. We are yet to see any man who can treat women equally. And that's, they will say, don't tell your senior wife I gave you this. Because they cannot maintain equal standard. Without overflogging it, we go further. So, evil is not a bad thing. Is a common feature in polygamy. Lying is a common feature in polygamy. They lied to their father that an animal killed him. And they brought torn clothes soaked in blood. They connive to do evil. In polygamy, it's not unusual to see certain wives who have common interests teaming all together to fight the other woman who has different value or different interests, therefore endangering the lives of those who are different. Why would a child of God find herself in such a setting? That is why a child of God who practices polygamy deliberately is on a suicide mission. You can't match the energy in polygamy. You cannot. May the Lord help us in Jesus' name. Still talking about the consequences of polygamy. When you marry several women, even if you try to love them equally, they are not likely to serve the same God. I have an African woman from Nigeria. If a man marries from the western part of Nigeria, you're likely to marry from different parts. Some parts are known to be water, those who serve water. Some serve the stone, Shango. So you now marry women from different religion, just as it were in the case of Solomon. One, you yourself, you will lose your salvation. You will end up, in the process of playing your husbandly role, you will go with them to their altars like Solomon did. And Solomon started well with God, but in the long run, he lost favor with God. Because the women took him away from God. They polluted him. So polygamy will destroy your spiritual strength. There is no how strong you are, you will suffer spiritual decay. There are some churches where people practice polygamy. Every consequences of polygamy is there. And that is why you look at such places and you say, is this a church? Because polygamy is a monster that comes with little demons that wreck lives. And that is how Solomon was turned away. The women will not only remove you from your spiritual standing as a child of God, they will raise children different. Each woman will raise his child within the context of her religion. So a family with the same surname, you have ritualists, occultists, you have all manners of people. That is the consequences of polygamy. Why you as a child of God should not try it. A woman is already coming to your home with her father and mother. So now when you have 6 women times 2, that is the 18 people added to you. You cannot stand it. The demons will overwhelm you. The characters, the mentality, the beliefs, everything will not just work out. That is why we have chaos in polygamous setting. They hardly have understanding. They hardly cooperate. They hardly speak with one voice. They always pursue self-interest. They are always after who will shine. They're always in competition. They always want to outdo each other. So those are the consequences of polygamy. And you see that everything we've mentioned, there is nothing godly about it.